My in-laws framed me for theft to steal my inheritance. I exposed their lies at the funeral and took back everything. From the outside, my life looks like something out of a glossy magazine spread. At 28, I had married into one of Connecticut's oldest and wealthiest families, the Hargroves. My husband, Alexander, Alex to everyone who knew and adored him, was the only child of Senator William Hargrove and his impeccably elegant wife, Caroline. Their name opened doors in Washington, New York, and everywhere in between. Old money flowed through generations, trust funds, charitable galas, a private jet for family emergencies. Their Greenwich estate spanned 20 acres, rolling lawns, a heated pool, tennis courts, and a main house that could host state dinners without breaking a sweat. I, Elena Ramirez, came from the opposite world, raised in a cramped apartment in Bridgeport by a single mother who cleaned houses for families like the Hargroves to put food on the table. Mom sacrificed everything for me, night shifts, second jobs, so I could focus on school. I clawed my way through nursing college on scholarships and sheer determination, graduating top of my class and landing a job in the cardiac intensive care unit at Yale New Haven Hospital. Long shifts, high stress, but rewarding. Saving lives felt like purpose. That's where I met Alex. He was visiting a campaign donor recovering from bypass surgery. I was the nurse managing a code blue down the hall, calm under pressure, directing the team with quiet authority. Afterward, he found me at the nurse's station, introduced himself, and asked if I'd like coffee sometime. I laughed, exhausted, hair in a messy bun, scrub-stained, but something in his warm brown eyes made me say yes. Our romance was whirlwind. Alex swept me off of my feet, and I was deeply in love. He was a wonderful man. He planned thoughtful dates and thought of ways to make my life easier. He was a giving and loving man. Dinners at hidden gem restaurants, weekends in the Hamptons, meeting his parents at their estate for the first times. I was nervous, wearing my best dress from a department store sale, but Caroline hugged me immediately, gushing over how refreshing I was. William shook my hand firmly, saying Alex had excellent taste. They welcomed me completely. Caroline helped choose my engagement ring, a stunning vintage piece from their vault, planned a fairy tale wedding at the estate, and even insisted on adding me to the family trust documents early. "You're one of us now, Elena," William said during the signing. "Family takes care of family." After the wedding, Alex and I moved into the renovated carriage house on the property, cozy yet luxurious, with views of the gardens. Life settled into bliss. We were very happy together. He would say he was the luckiest man alive when we would wake up in the morning. Alex managed the Hargrove Family Foundation, channeling millions into education and health causes. I kept nursing part-time. It grounded me, and we started trying for a baby. Caroline became my confidant. Shopping trips to Manhattan, luncheons where she'd share stories of raising Alex, advice on navigating their social world. William mentored Alex politically and treated me with paternal warmth, pulling strings to get Mom the best cancer treatment when her illness returned. Yet even in this golden bubble, tiny fissures appeared if you looked closely. Caroline's compliments sometimes carried an edge. "You're so resilient, dear, coming from humble beginnings." William would quiz me subtly about finances or my mother's line of work. Alex brushed it off. "They're from a different generation. They just want to protect us." I let it go. After all, they'd given me a fairy tale. Why question perfection? The disappearances began innocently enough, or so it seemed at first. Carolyn mentioned misplacing her diamond tennis bracelet after a charity gala. "I must have left it in the dressing room," she sighed, but her eyes lingered on the staff. Then William's vintage gold watch vanished from his bedside table. A week later, envelopes of cash, tens of thousands, went missing from the household, safe where petty cash and emergency funds were kept. The estate had a full staff, housekeepers, groundskeepers, a chef. But suspicion quickly circled to me. I was the newest family member, the one without generational wealth, the one who understood struggle. Caroline tearfully reported her emerald earrings missing, family heirlooms worth over $100,000. William called an emergency family meeting in the library, his face grave. "We've always trusted everyone here implicitly," he said, looking directly at me. "But this can't continue." Alex stood by me initially. "Dad, Mom, this is ridiculous. Elena has access because she's family, but she would never..." Evidence emerged like poison dripping slowly. Security cameras captured a blurry figure in the East Wing hallway, wearing what looked exactly like my navy wool coat, the one Caroline had complimented weeks earlier. My fingerprints were lifted from the safe's keypad. I'd entered the code to store foundation documents for Caroline. Then the bombshell. A dormant bank account in my name, one I'd closed years ago, suddenly showed deposits matching the missing amounts. The police arrived without warning. I was pulled from a shift at the hospital, cuffed in front of patients and colleagues. Headlines screamed the next day: Senator Hargroves, daughter-in-law arrested for grand theft. My mugshot everywhere. Caroline gave tearful interviews. We treated her like our own daughter. This betrayal, it's unimaginable. William spoke of upholding justice, no matter how painful. Alex withdrew completely. He moved into the main house. My calls went to voicemail. When I finally got through, his voice was distant, broken. "Elena, the evidence. I have to think about the family." I couldn't believe how he took their side, how he completely threw me away and abandoned me. I spent 3 agonizing nights in jail, cold, fluorescent lights, the shame burning hotter than any bars. Bail was posted anonymously. I later learned it was my mother's life insurance advancing. But Mom passed while I was inside. The jail wouldn't release me for the funeral. I said goodbye to her over a grainy video call, sobbing alone in an orange jumpsuit. The pain of betrayal is a living thing. It claws at your insides, steals your breath, colors every memory black. Losing my freedom was horrific, but losing my family, the one I'd married into, the one that promised forever, shattered me completely. Alex's silence hurt worst. The man who'd vowed to love me through anything believed the worst without a real conversation. I'd replay our wedding in my mind, his tearful vows, Caroline's warm embrace, William's proud toast. All lies? Had they ever truly accepted me? Or was I just a temporary novelty? The charity case daughter-in-law? Caroline's public tears on TV felt like salt in wounds. "We gave her everything," she wept to cameras. Everything? They'd given me a nightmare. The woman I'd called Mom, the one who'd helped me pick baby names, had orchestrated my downfall. Isolation consumed me. Released on bail, I returned to Mom's empty apartment. Friends ghosted. Colleagues whispered. Reporters hounded me. I stopped eating. Food tasted like ash. Sleep evaded me. Nights were endless loops of a why me. Curled on the floor, clutching Mom's favorite scarf, I'd sob until exhaustion claimed me. The injustice raged. I devoted myself to this family, nursed their friends, supported Alex's dreams. And for what? The deepest cut, Mom's death. Missing her funeral, holding her hand one last time, saying proper goodbye, left a void nothing could fill. Rage mixed with grief. They took my mother from me twice, first through stress, then by keeping me away. I felt worthless, unlovable, the outsider they'd always seen. But slowly, beneath the devastation, a spark ignited. They thought they'd broken me. They were wrong. Despair doesn't last forever when injustice fuels it. One morning, staring at Mom's photo, I decided I would fight. I felt strong and ready to fight. With my last savings, I hired Marcus, a grizzled ex-detective known for exonerating the wrongly accused. "Rich people framing the help? Classic," he grunted. "Let's see what they've hidden." His investigation uncovered layers of deceit. The jewelry, never missing, tucked in Caroline's private safe behind a false panel in her walk-in closet. Marcus got photos through a disgruntled former maid. Security footage? Tampered. Original files showed Caroline herself in the hallway, wearing my stolen coat, face obscured by a scarf. Digital artifacts proved editing. The bank account? Fraudulent. forged signature cards, deposits traced to offshore accounts linked to William's campaign slush funds, emails and texts between William and Caroline recovered from a backup drive. We need to neutralize her before she influences Alexander too much. Once she's convicted, the marriage will dissolve naturally. Discussions of my inheritance, Mom's $2.4 million policy they somehow knew about. With me discredited, Alex would inherit everything uncontested. William's campaign was broke. Secret debts, embezzlement whispers. They needed control over family assets. Framing me solved multiple problems, removed a threat, isolated Alex, protected their facade. A staff member, pressured and paid, confessed on hidden audio. Caroline instructed the planting. Every revelation hurt anew but built my case. I wasn't paranoid. I was targeted. Revenge required precision, not impulse. Rushing would let them spin it. I needed the perfect moment, undeniable, public, irreversible. Grandmother Margaret, Alex's paternal grandmother, the family's quiet matriarch, was fading. Lung cancer. The doctor gave weeks. William planned a grand funeral. Politicians, press, a celebration of Hargrove legacy to boost his flagging re-election. I bided time. Marcus finalized evidence, forensic reports, confessions, financial trails. My new lawyer, a shark specializing in high-profile defamation, prepared filings to drop charges and countersue for millions. The funeral would be live-streamed locally. William craved the optics, united family in mourning. I RSVP'd quietly. They assumed shame would keep me away. As Margaret slipped away, I prepared. This wouldn't just clear my name, it would dismantle theirs. The church overflowed with power and pretense. Black limousines lined the street. Inside, senators, CEOs, media. William's eulogy was masterful. Tears on cue, anecdotes painting Margaret as saintly, the Hargroves as unbreakable. I arrived late, veiled in black lace, slipping into a rear pew. Alex spotted me first. Face palings. Caroline whispered frantically to ushers, but my lawyer's pre-filed injunction blocked removal. William ended, in Margaret's memory, let us cherish family above all. I rose. May I share a remembrance? Murmurs. Cameras swiveled. William hesitated, denying a grieving widow would look cruel, then nodded stiffly. At the podium, I began softly. Margaret valued truth above image. She once told me, lies rot families from within. I clicked the remote. Screens lit, original footage, Caroline planting evidence. Emails plotting my framing, financial trails, the staff confession. Gasps echoed, phones rose. William roared, "Security, remove her." But the AV technician paid triple, locked controls. Caroline shrieked as her face filled screens. Alex stood frozen, horror dawning. Final slides. This family framed me for theft to steal my inheritance and protect their secrets. The church erupted. Reporters live tweeted. Caroline collapsed theatrically. William lunged, red-faced, but ushers held him back. Alex in shock. I faced them calmly. You took everything from me, my freedom, my mother, my marriage, all for control. Margaret deserved truth. So does everyone here. And I smiled at the chaos before my eyes. Chaos. Guests fled. Live feeds captured every second. William's empire cracked publicly. Consequences crashed like dominoes. Charges dropped immediately. Caroline and William arrested. Conspiracy, fraud, obstruction, assets frozen. Seeing their pictures in the papers being escorted out of their home in handcuffs was very satisfying. My countersuit devastated, tens of millions in damages. The estate sold. I purchased the carriage house and more. William's career imploded. Resigned in disgrace, investigations snowballed. Caroline's social world crumbled. Invitations revoked. Friends vanished. Alex begged for forgiveness. They manipulated me, he claimed. He actually had the audacity to come back begging on his knees after he tossed me away like an old useless dog. I did love seeing him crawl back on his knees. The moment I just laughed and slammed the door in his face was extremely rewarding. Our divorce finalized swiftly with no reconciliation. The foundation I exposed? Redirected assets funded my new charity for wrongfully accused women. They downsized dramatically, modest lives, constant scrutiny, just to serve cold. 5 years on, I've rebuilt gloriously. My foundation thrives, helping hundreds reclaim lives. I remarry a compassionate doctor who cherishes authenticity. Our daughter brings daily joy. Echoes of pain remain, jail nights, mom's absence. But revenge brought justice, healing. I learned chosen family matters more than blood. Betrayal forges strength. To every woman framed or discarded, your truth has power. Rise, reclaim, roar. You are unbreakable.